Hey there, Dave Allred here, founder and CEO of Bar Patrol. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of Bar Patrol app and the online dashboard so you can see exactly what you're getting when you sign up. And then if you have any questions at all, make sure to email us at info@barpatrol.net and we will get right back to you. We're going to start with the app features and then move on to the online dashboard where all of your data and reports and analytics are run. We've made this system as practical and simple as possible so you'll actually use it, but powerful as well, with everything you need to run a great inventory program. With Bar Patrol, you can count beer, both bottled and draft, wine, liquor, food. We have quite a few clients counting food inventory with Bar Patrol, condiments, garnishes, cleaning supplies, retail items such as hats and t-shirts. Basically anything you can count, you can use Bar Patrol app for. 7-Eleven could use us to count their store inventory if they wanted to. That's how cool it is. So off we go. So when you open the app, you're going to see these 4 squares here. Let's go over them each quickly individually. You can run reports on the app. I suggest doing it on the online dashboard on your computer just because the screen's bigger. And here you just kind of have to scroll back and forth, so it's not as convenient. A usage report, stock on hand, which shows you exactly what you have on hand after you take an inventory. Line by line specifically shows you what you weighed, what you counted in each location. And then you can actually run a purchase order from here and see what to order by vendor. I'm going to show you that online, but it's the same thing here. Let's just run a usage report really quick so you can see what it looks like on the screen. Let's run it from May 1st through May 15th. And then you can see, let me zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to zoom in and out, make this bigger so you can see. But it breaks it down. You see, I just have to scroll across. It's all the data's there, so it's really cool. So if you're out and about and you just have your phone or your iPad, you can run reports on here, but it's just easier. You can't run a variance report on here because you need to upload the sales data into the online dashboard, but you can run some other cool reports. The settings is just maintaining stuff that's already loaded onto your account. So your locations, your categories, your vendors, and you can add or edit any of this information at any time. And then here's where you enable and sync the device when you first set up your account. And then we'll go into products really quick. All your products are on here. They get synced from your online dashboard. It's alphabetically or broken down by category. So domestic bottle, import bottle, domestic draft, and so on and so forth. We even have some food on here. If we go inside one, let's go inside Beefeater. These are all the specs inside Beefeater. The product name, the category. For container, we do bottle, we do keg, can, we do each. Each is for something like if you're counting limes, it's just unit to unit. We don't have a container for limes, obviously. Case size, we do retail and wholesale pricing. Most systems only do wholesale pricing because you can figure your pour cost percentage that way, but we have retail pricing so we can see when the bartenders overpour how much money is being lost at retail as well. I think it's super important. And then once you enter both, it will tell you the pour cost percentage for Beefeater. So if you think this is too high or too low, you can raise or adjust your pricing to get the ideal pour cost percentage. And then the full and empty bottle weight straight from our master product list, container size units and all that. It's all right here, so you can edit it, and then you can add products from here as well individually. You just have to fill out all of this information. You can also view all of your products at any time right here to see an overview. So that's products. Those 3 are just some little bells and whistles that you can get on here and maintain your products and your settings, view some reports, but of course, most of the time you'll be on here to do inventories. This is your electronic clipboard now, so let's go over inventories really quick. Once we go inside the inventory screen, all of your inventories are going to show up from most recent on top to oldest along the bottom. Your full counting inventories are going to show up in orange, the standard ones. Your invoices will show up in green so you can track them all. And then if we go inside of one, you can see all the products here. They default broken down by location, bar kegs, crates, and then you can go inside if you did something wrong, you can edit the information. Perhaps there was a full bottle here, you need to change this. You can do that at any time. You can also sort it, so it defaults to location, but I can also sort from first to last. So Corona was the first one we entered here. And I can also sort from last to first, which I like to do during the inventory because I can come here and see where I left off of. I'm not quite sure. So that's a really cool feature. And then when you get here, obviously this is going to be blank. You're not going to have all these inventories here. You need to create your first inventory. So we'll do a new inventory. This is the only time you'll need to do this. We need to create a blueprint of your bar in the exact order that all of your bottles are on your shelves, in your storage, in your beer cooler, etc., etc. So after that, we're going to use this recurring blueprint inventory, and everything's going to pop up in the exact same order every single time. So for the first time, we'll need to go new inventory. And then when you get here, you can choose from standard or invoice to enter your invoices. We also have a comp and discount. These kind of work the same, but if a bottle of, say, Grey Goose breaks, you can account for it by entering it into a comp inventory. We'll go over invoice in a little bit. Let's start with the standard inventory. You just need to go start new inventory the very first time, and then add products. And then you just need to search for them. Here, you just type in the first few letters. Make sure you're starting in the right location wherever you're starting. And then as you physically walk through your place, make sure to change the location as you physically walk to a different location so everything's organized. So we'll start in storage here. Let's type in Jack Daniels, the first 3 letters, and there it is, Jack Daniels. We hit it. And when you come here, you have 3 choices. Bottle, if it's a full bottle. Ounces if you're weighing it with a scale, and then we have cases. Make sure the case size is correct up here. You can see there's some information up here, but at any time you can hit the edit button and we're back to the specs, and you can edit. If the pricing's changed or you see the bottle weight's off, you can come here. You don't have to go all the way back to the product screen and look for it. Then you hit save and you're right back here. So let's say that there's 5 bottles, and then you just simply search for the next one. We'll go Jameson. 3 bottles, and you'll just walk through as they're ordered on yourself. Switch location as you're switching location until your entire first inventory is done. After that, life's going to be easy because we're going to use this recurring blueprint inventory, which we're going to talk about right now. On the right here, you'll see these little blue dots. This is our blueprint recurring inventory. And what these are is if you hit any of these, it's going to repeat exactly whichever inventory you choose. So this is the one we just did. It just has Jack and Jameson in there. So if I hit that button, Jack would pop up, I'd enter however many Jacks, and then Jameson would pop up, and then the inventory would be over. So usually you want to choose the top one because this will be your most recent inventory and it will be up to date. I'm going to show you in just a second how to keep your blueprint current and up to date. Let's go inside one of these and show you how the repeat works. I'm just going to hit this blue one here, and it's going to start us off right off the bat. Starts with Corona in the storage room. I'm also going to turn the Bluetooth scale. It's on right next to me. I got a half bottle of Tito's right next to me because the next one that pops up is going to be a partial bottle of liquor. And I want to show you how fast the amount just pops in. So let's say that we just have, let's say we have a case of Corona. So we'll enter 1 case, enter. There's Absolute Citron and then 35.5. You can see how fast it goes. And all I got to do is hit enter. The same weight's going to come up for Maker's Mark because I have the same bottle on there. But you can see how fast it is. And then now it switches to bar kegs because we're just doing a demo one. So it switched to locations automatically because that's what I did in that last inventory. 1 keg, 3 kegs, and everything just coming up in order. Super fast, super simple, super easy. And now you can cut your inventory time in half. Now, a quick word about scanners. I get questions from people sometimes who ask, do we use a scanner? And the answer is no. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not a big fan of scanners. I've personally taken more than 4,000 inventories myself. I've tried all the systems, and I just don't like having an extra piece of equipment to haul around, keep track of. It can break. And sometimes I spend time trying to get those barcodes to scan, and it just won't. It's just really frustrating. And even if it is working, the process of grabbing full bottles off your shelves and turning it around each time to scan it is a much slower process. In fact, let's do a quick demonstration here. Let's pretend we are counting these 7 products pictured here. So let's pop up the app here and show how quickly this will go. This is a situation where you just have some backup bottles on the shelves. You might have 2 or 3 of each. So starting with Tito's, we go Tito's, Belvedere, Hanger One Mandarin, Ketel One Citron, Ketel One Orange, Grey Goose. Done. Just those 7 products. With a scanner, you would still be on Belvedere or Hanger One Mandarin right now, turning it around, trying to scan the bottle. If you're in the rail and you have to pick up the bottle to weigh it anyway, that would be about the same, but the bottles in your rail represent about 20% of all the inventory in your place, if not less. So 80% of the time or more, you'll be grabbing full bottles off the shelves or in your storage, trying to scan them, and that's just super time consuming. So I find scanners tedious and completely unnecessary. That's just my personal opinion from having tested out different systems. Now, I mentioned earlier about keeping your blueprint current. Sometimes you move bottles around to different locations when you're organizing. Sometimes you carry a new product, and that can really screw your blueprint up. But we have a few tools to keep your blueprint current. The first one being the insert function. So we have our products here, and this week we decided to start carrying Stoli, or we already carry it, but we're going to put it on the shelf here now instead of the Doghouse, whatever. And we've decided to put it here between Hangar One Mandarin and Ketel One, which means our shelf will now look like this. So let's pop up our app again. We want to enter Stoli right here. So we enter Hangar One Mandarin first. So let's say there's 2 bottles of Hangar One Mandarin. And then before we enter Ketel One, all we want to do is hit insert right here. And then we're just going to search for the product just like we do on the first inventory, the first few. There it is, Stoli. We hit that. Let's say that there's 3 bottles of Stoli. We hit enter and bam, there it is. Now all we have to do is hit the back arrow, come down here and hit resume. And it's going to pick up right where you left off with Ketel One. Now next week or next inventory that you take, Stoli One will pop up in your blueprint. And then the remove function is just the reverse of insert. So we don't want to carry Stoli here anymore. We want Hangar One and Ketel One next to each other. We're removing it from the rotation. So all we got to do, we enter our Hangar One Mandarin. And then here we're just going to hit remove and presto, it's gone. And then it just moves on to Ketel One here so you can go on with your inventory. But during your next inventory, Stoli One will not show up here because you have removed it. And then for our last function, to make it easy to keep our blueprint current, I'm going to show you how to switch a product. This is a situation where we don't want Hangar One here anymore. We want to put Stoli here. Perhaps Hangar One's selling like crazy in the well, so we're going to move that to the well and move Stoli back up here. So this is basically insert and remove all at once. We're going to remove Hangar One. We're going to insert Stoli right here. And all you need to do is go up here and we go switch product. So we're going to switch Hangar One. And again, we're just going to search for Stoli right here. And then you'll notice after we switch it, it's going to move right on to Ketel One to the next one so you can continue your inventory. I hit Stoli. Now Stoli is here, and all I'm going to do is hit 1 and enter. And now, bingo, there's Stoli. And now, of course, Stoli will be in the rotation next time you take inventory. Hangar One Mandarin will be somewhere else. So there's 3 cool tools that you can use to keep your blueprint totally current. So quickly to touch on point counting versus weighing the open bottles, you can do either in Bar Patrol app. If you want a point count, simply put the unit on bottle and type in 0.6, 0.5, and so on and so forth. The only issue there is that point counting has about a 10 to 15% margin of error because my 0.6 is different than your 0.6. And when it comes to figuring your pour cost percentage, 10 to 15% is a huge difference. We, of course, have the Bluetooth scale, which weighs the bottles quickly and accurately. There's only about a 1 to 2% margin of error. The inventory systems that have the little slider bar and promise that it's more accurate than weighing are flat out wrong. It's not true. Plus, if you have the opaque bottles like Bailey's or Kahlua, you're not going to be able to see what's in there. So this is super simple to use. It's only a one-time cost of $99 and you own it. About 9 out of 10 people who sign up for Bar Patrol do get the Bluetooth scale. It's something that we highly recommend because it's so fast and accurate. A lot of people will ask, how do we do draft beer inside Bar Patrol? How do you figure out how much is in the keg? Of course, most places are simply shaking the keg and trying to point count it that way, which again, you can do that with Bar Patrol if you want. You can point count it, but if you want to be super accurate, you can weigh the kegs just like you do liquor bottles. And based on the full and empty weight of the keg, Bar Patrol app knows exactly how much is inside the keg. You can buy an expensive keg scale, just like the one you see here, but it's really not necessary. You can simply buy a digital bathroom scale at somewhere like Target or Walmart for 25 bucks and it's going to work just fine. All you have to do is weigh the keg either on a keg scale or on the bathroom scale. You get the readout in pounds and then you enter it into the app in the pounds unit. And it's that easy. And that's going to do it for the app demo. Make sure to go watch the online dashboard video so you can see how we do ordering and invoicing and the awesome analytics we have there. I'll see you there.